Hi, I'm Mia Martinez, a 28-year-old event planner based in Chicago, and what I'm about to share will leave you absolutely stunned. Mia, that's the one, Mom gasped as I stepped out in the fourth gown of the day. Her eyes welled up the second she saw me. The strapless silk hugged me just right, dotted with shimmering pearls that caught every bit of light in the boutique. You really think James will love it? I asked, spinning slowly. Sweetheart, he'd marry you in a potato sack, she chuckled, before sighing. But Barbara, I groaned, please don't bring her up. She's already been driving me nuts with her unsolicited advice. I imitated Barbara's smug tone. Oh darling, roses are so predictable, surely you want something more refined. You didn't mention dress shopping to her, did you? Mom asked, brows raised. Of course not, she'd probably fly in a couture gown from Paris just to outdo me. I met James during one of my galas, a charity benefit hosted by his firm. While other wealthy guys were busy flirting with servers, James was helping an elderly guest who had tripped. That moment told me everything I needed to know. 6 months later, we moved in together. Then last spring, he proposed at our favorite cafe, intimate, heartfelt, and exactly us. But Barbara, she was the definition of over the top. Girl, that estate is a castle, my assistant Katie said over lunch. That fountain? I've lived in apartments smaller than that. Honestly, I'd tie the knot in a gas station if it meant getting Barbara off my back, I muttered. Right on cue, a text buzzed in. Barbara, surprise, I booked a string quartet for the ceremony. You're welcome. I stared at it, stunned. We had agreed James's college band would play at the reception. Then she made it worse. I rearranged the seating, Barbara announced. Let's move Amelia closer to the kitchen, much more suitable, don't you think? Suitable? I echoed, nearly dropping my fork. She's just trying to be helpful, James said gently, but I noticed the way my mom stiffened every time Barbara entered the room. One night, I caught her weeping over old photographs. Mom, what's going on between you and Barbara? She snapped the album shut. Some things are better left buried, Mia. Then there was Lucy, James's sister, always sweet in public, but I kept seeing her whispering with Barbara. We can't let her find out about him, I overheard Lucy say. She'd ruin everything. At our engagement party, Barbara pulled me aside at the bar. Didn't your mother work in Lake Forest, around the time of that incident? Mom left in a flash. I found her outside, chain smoking, a habit she'd kicked years ago. Tell me the truth, I pleaded. Not now, she muttered, shaking. Later, I confronted James. Don't you think it's strange your mom's so focused on mine? She's taken over the wedding, changed the guest list, flowers, music, everything. You're reading into it too much, he said. She just wants the best for us. But whose version of best, and why the extra security at a family wedding? My instincts were on full alert, something didn't add up. Days later, while unpacking, Mom picked up a photo from our party. Who's this man behind Barbara? Some friend of the family. She insists he attends every event. Why? Mom turned white. She grabbed her purse and pulled out an old newspaper clipping. Because I know who he is. That's William. He stole $50,000 from my company 7 years ago. What? He vanished before we could press charges. Someone covered his debts quietly. Buzz. A text from Lucy. Lucy, hey sis, family dinner tonight. Mom has big wedding news. That night, Barbara looked ecstatic. We're adding a special segment to the reception, a little family tribute. What kind of tribute? James asked. She grinned. You'll see, just trust me. Later, I overheard her in the study with Lucy. William's thrilled. Mom, after all this time, he's finally getting recognition. Keep your voice down, Barbara hissed. No one can know he's my son, especially not that meddling Mia. My blood ran cold. William, the man who had stolen from my mother, was Barbara's secret child. I couldn't let it rest. Digging through public records, I uncovered a history of fraud tied to William. Charges dropped, every single time. I reviewed financial reports and saw Barbara had been diverting money from her husband's firm into secret offshore accounts. It all began to make sense. That night, I turned to James. We need to talk about your mom. Can this wait? He asked, buried in files. I'm on a big case, missing trust fund money. That's just it. I found something about your mom and the missing money. He sighed. Not this again. You've got to stop obsessing. She's been stealing from your father's company, James. I found proof. And she's been wiring money to William, her hidden son. He stood up, tense. You're out of line. Before I could explain, he stormed out. An hour later, Lucy showed up. Back off, Mia, stop snooping. Or what? I said, crossing my arms. Or your mom's little tax issue might get some attention from the IRS. You're threatening me? Call it what you want, just drop it. Lucy snapped and left. Shaking, I called my mom. They're trying to intimidate me. Barbara's planning something huge. There's more, Mom said. William and Barbara, they've been scamming together for years. That money he stole? She helped him hide it. But why reveal him at the wedding? Think about it, Mia. What better way to legitimize a criminal than unveiling him at a high society celebration? If he's accepted publicly as a Wilson, no one will question his wealth again. The morning of the wedding, Chaos walked in wearing pearls. Barbara burst into my bridal suite like she owned the place. I've made arrangements, William will be seated at the head table, she declared, smug as ever. Strange, I said, coolly adjusting my veil. I don't recall giving that the green light. Her smile didn't falter. It's not up for discussion. Today is important for all of us. Before I could speak, my mom barged in behind her, eyes blazing. Out, now. Barbara turned slowly, still bitter about your little money mishap. Amelia? Mom crossed her arms, water under the bridge. But I'll be damned if you think you're ruining my daughter's big day with your con artist of a son. Barbara scoffed. Accusations? Really? Oh please, don't act like you didn't know William robbed my business blind. You've been bankrolling his scams for years. Just then, the door slammed open again. Lucy rushed in, breathless. Mom, William just got here, but there's a problem. A guy's asking questions, says he's with the FBI. Barbara's skin went ghost white. Take care of it, she snapped. No one's ruining this, not today. What exactly are you planning? James appeared in the doorway, looking more suspicious than ever. Barbara smiled tightly. Oh honey, nothing, just a little surprise for the reception. She's about to introduce her hidden son, my mom cut in, the one she gave up as a teenager, the same man who's been stealing from your family's company. That's absurd, James barked, though his voice trembled. Is it? Barbara lunged for her purse, but Lucy intercepted her, blocking the path. Mom, please, don't, she whispered. The bag hit the floor and spilled everywhere, documents, IDs, bank statements, decades of photos with William, proof. James stared at the chaos, then turned to Lucy. You knew? She broke down. I was protecting her. We're family. I grabbed my mom's hand. That's it. This wedding is over. You can't cancel now, Barbara shrieked. Everyone's expecting the announcement. What announcement? James demanded. Her plan to turn her criminal empire into a family legacy, I said. Suddenly, security stormed in. Mrs. Wilson, FBI agents are here for you and Mr. William Crawford. William bolted, only to be tackled near the back gate. Barbara shoved past us, running into the reception hall, only to be met with flashing badges and handcuffs. Ma'am, one agent said, we have questions regarding multiple financial crimes. This is a misunderstanding, Barbara cried. Robert, say something. James's father stepped forward slowly. No, Barbara, I'm done covering your lies. The room erupted, guests screaming, cameras flashing, Barbara sobbing as she was escorted out in cuffs. 6 months later, Mom and I were sipping lattes when the headline popped up on my phone. Chicago socialite Barbara Wilson sentenced to 15 years for money laundering and fraud. Mom took a slow sip. Karma's got excellent timing. My phone buzzed again. James, did you see the news? Me, yeah. James, how are you doing? Me, how are you? James, better. Dad finalized the divorce. Things are finally calming down. He was healing, so was the Wilson empire, now free of the rot that had nearly destroyed it. Lucy, in a last-ditch effort to save herself, took a plea deal, 5 years. She spilled everything, how she'd helped William rip off small businesses, launder money, and how deep Barbara's corruption went. 15 years behind bars. I'm sure orange clashes horribly with Barbara's designer wardrobe. Then another message popped up. James, can we meet? I have something I want to say, face to face. An hour later, we were back at the coffee shop where it all began. I messed up, James said quietly, staring into his untouched cup. I should have believed you. You were raised to trust her, I said gently. she manipulated everyone. He sighed. Turns out William wasn't her only secret. Dad found more evidence. She's been running scams since college. Those charity events? Fronts for laundering money. My phone buzzed again. William Crawford faces new charges in multi-state fraud scheme. Unreal, James muttered. He was stealing from us while Mom was planning to parade him around as her long-lost son. Some people really don't understand loyalty, I said. How's the company doing? Great, Dad cleaned house. Once we shut off William's accounts, profits soared. And you? I asked. What's next? I joined a new law firm. Oh, and guess what? That band we wanted? They're playing next month. James. He smiled softly. Not a wedding proposal, just dinner, a fresh start, no secrets, no twisted family drama, just you and me. Before I could answer, another headline popped up. Lucy Wilson begins prison sentence. New allegations surface from brother William. Guess the family drama follows them behind bars, too. I laughed. Speaking of family, your mom's business is thriving, he said. 3 new locations? Turns out cutting out toxic competition like Barbara creates space for real growth. So, dinner? I looked at him, really looked. He wasn't the privileged guy who once defended his mother blindly. He was someone who'd lost everything, and grown because of it. One condition, I said with a smirk. You're paying, and we're driving separately. He chuckled. Deal. And for the record, your mom totally wrecked my tux with those handcuff scuff marks. For the first time in a long time, we both laughed, and it felt genuine. So what would you do if your future in-law turned out to be a con artist? Would you blow the whistle, even if it meant calling off your wedding, or stay silent to protect your relationship? This story is a reminder that sometimes the people closest to us are hiding the darkest secrets. The picture-perfect life? It might be a mask. Have you ever had to deal with manipulative in-laws or discovered a shocking family secret right before a big moment? Tell us your story in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay stunned.